So what happens when your Elgato does not work? Well, you lose 45 minutes of footage that you captured. So we're doing it again. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tavern Brawl. We haven't done these in a while, have we? No. So today's a little bit of an interesting one. So the idea is that you get 4 copies of a legendary, and you get these thrown into your deck, as well as 1 card that reduces the cost of a minion by 3 and all of minions of that type. That's a spell you can play for 0, so yeah, let's just get right into it. I haven't done these in a while because I've been incredibly busy. Nice JPEG, bro. Hope it was worth the $5. Or wait, maybe that was the one that you can unlock? I'm not sure. I know Medivh you can unlock, I don't know about... yeah, whatever. I think I played this person earlier. So, this one is a lot of RNG, and it's really frustrating because you could already be dead before the game even starts. So we're not going to play anything. This is the card that you want to save for the big, heavy-hitting cards. The only problem is that sometimes people can play Muklas, and, you know, turn 1 Muklas, 2 5/5s, and you're basically done. So a couple updates. One is that I got my VR headset the other day, got the Vive. The reason why I got the Vive over the Oculus is because, even though it was more expensive, because, one, Facebook, the data mining is, and I'm not talking about it, is kind of disgusting. But, you know, I can ignore that, because everyone tracks you nowadays. Hell, I'm using Windows 10. But that's not my problem. The problem is that they're locking off their store and creating this walled garden, kind of like Apple, and they're stagnating the VR marketplace, a marketplace that desperately needs games and titles and innovation, and they're just not wanting to do that. So by implementing DRM for like a peripheral, they're just pushing people like me away from buying it. Which is a shame, because I was really interested in the Oculus Rift because it had 4 years of development ahead of it. It had got those dev kits out like 2 or 3 years ago. You know, a lot of people were like really excited for it, myself included. I've been waiting for it for years. You know, even with the Facebook buyout, I'm like, okay, maybe still. No. Thank God for Vive, though. But unfortunately, the problem with Vive is the lack of content and the problem with third-party support. So the nice thing about with the Rift is that there was a lot of games that worked with the second development kit, and that gave you just a bit of an edge in terms of extra titles. You'd have to tweak it around a bit, but you can get those games working. The problem is with the Vive, just doesn't have those. So now apparently there's going to be a lot of games coming out soon. A lot of games are going to be Oculus and Vive compatible, but they're not coming out fast enough right now. We might be able to play. We might want to play Velen just to heal ourselves up. We can get a lot of heals out of that card. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's like one of the worst possible cards he could have gotten. At least we got a taunt. Can we even play anything? We might have to play that just to get stuff on the board, although I don't think it matters, does it? Well, sort of. I really wanted to save that card too. That's one of the key things in this game. You have to save that card for like powerful hero plays, otherwise you're just gonna get stomped. So yeah, Vive content is gonna come out within like the month, before the end of the month. I want to get that stuff done. I'm supposed to get a controller to review, and I'm supposed to review a bunch of controllers. Hopefully they'll have it next month. I got a lot of stuff planned. I have a huge list, and it's just kind of growing with, you know, developers giving me code. I'm requesting code, and it's just I'm not able to get it all done. I have to stop requesting so much review code because it's kind of what hurt me. What's funny is that I used to get I was really depressed about 3 years ago when I was in college. I was failing, and I'm not in college anymore. I'm going to be going back soon, but I've been saying that for a bit, but I'm actually gonna do it next year, early next year. But I got really depressed, and part of the reason was the thing I used to cope with my issues, my depression, video games. They were just, to put it bluntly, shitty. Like, a lot of them were just shitty, and people were defending these horrible practices online, and I just see all this, like, the downfall of video games, and it's gotten so much better recently. 2016 pretty much rekindled my interest, and 2015 to an extent. It's just been nothing but great game after great game that I've been playing. And I haven't had a lack of stuff to play. I've been enjoying a lot of the things that I didn't enjoy before, like games. Like I played, like I was recently, I beat Witcher 2, even though I think that game's really flawed. We should hurry this up. Hold on. I just realized I just gave him the game. What the fuck am I doing? I wasn't even thinking. Maybe he won't realize. He's gonna play something stupid. Oh, that's what you're wanting. Okay. Whatever. I would have lost anyway then. That was dumb on my end, and I don't know. I was starting to talk, and I didn't know. Maybe if I played the Twin Imps. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it was just a problem. Now there's so many games. Like it's before, it was like I was actually getting burned out, and then now I'm not at all. Like there's so many different genres of games for me to play. So much huge back catalog, and I'm not getting overwhelmed by it. There was I listened to a podcast that's over now called The Biggest Problem in the Universe, and one of the problems they listed and talked about was decision fatigue, and I completely agree with that. The idea that you have just so many choices, and then you end up picking none, or you're picking up the worst one, or you even the one you pick, you just end up regretting because you think you could be picking another one. That's what I suffered from that entire time in college, like where watching something or playing something. Like I had all these games, and I would just spend most of my time just scrolling through my Steam library. It's a pretty huge issue, and it was taking a lot of time. Now it's like I gotta pick something, and I'm usually happy with what I pick. I don't think I've ever had so much access to content before, and I'm really grateful for all the developers, even though I haven't been following up on it for most of them, and I apologize for that if, they do watch my channel, which I do some of my videos, but I will try to get as much as I can done. And one of the things I would recommend for people who are starting out on YouTube is, well, first off, when you start getting a subscriber base, you're going to get to a point where... Ooh, hold on. There we go. Let's do Gelbin. What I would recommend is, like, if you're doing review content, I don't know about Let's Plays, but review content specifically, when you start getting a lot of views, I would start, like, messaging developers through Steam. Do the indie developers, but do, like, one at a time. Like, only do, like, 2 games that you're following and you're trying to review at once, or do first impressions of, or whatever. Because if you overload yourself like I did, it can be stressful, and you could just be worrying all the time about what you're not doing. Like, what you're not... Like, it's... Like, you don't need to freak out too much about that, even. Like, anxiety is something I also dealt with, and now it's pretty much gone. Nice! I was gonna banana that thing, but that's awesome. Nice. But I would just... As long as you're not signing something, you are not obligated to do those reviews. It's still good practice to, link it to the Steam page, post a review, tell them it, but don't stress out about it, especially if the developers start to email you and even go as far to harass you. That hasn't happened to me yet, but it can happen, especially indie developers, because they don't have... A lot of them are these guys who are overworked, so they're tired, and they just... depending on their personalities, they can be really offended by someone not doing videos. Like, they think they trusted you. Like, at the end of the day, we have to be professionals about it. And at the end of the day, you have to realize that there are tons of other games that and priorities that journalists have to do. And if it's one Steam code, like it's probably one person who didn't buy your game anyway. It's not like you lost a sale by someone not covering it. I mean, obviously you lost potential sales by them not covering it, but it's not like it was stolen or anything. It's not like piracy where they just request a bunch of codes. And I do think it's scummy, though, if you're requesting codes and you never intend to follow up with videos on them, if you're just doing it to get codes. Don't do that. It's why a lot of developers have to do things like implement safeguards. Like there's key distribution sites that they have to have you sign up for. And right now there's only one I'm doing, but in the future there might be dozens because of just issues, potential issues with how their algorithms work, and I really don't want to see that situation where I'm going to have to sign up to a dozen different sites for a dozen different types of potential chances at review codes, having to browse a dozen sites, because it's more work I have to do. It's like, checking my email, checking these sites for, like, developers sending me, like, any kind of offers or promotions. I haven't got any brand deals yet. I will gladly do one if anyone is interested, just as long as I'm able to disclose it to my subscribers. And that's another thing, is transparency. So what I do now is if I'm given a key, I link the Steam page in the description, and I mention if I got the key from the developer. That's what I do. And you kind of have to disclose that, sort of. Like, I mean, brand deals, if you're being given money, obviously you have to do that because of the new, FTC, I believe, trade newest guidelines. There was actually a funny thing that happened recently. Machinima is getting sued over that because they didn't disclose it a couple years ago, and Inside Gaming talked about it, and it was with Bruce and Adam from Inside Gaming. Now they're part of Funhouse, but God, they explained it in the most stupid manner. They had no idea what they were talking about. This is the problem with game journalism. They should know this stuff, and yet they have all these subscribers, and yet they don't. It's just annoying because they have all this power, and yet they don't use it to their advantage, to inform their consumers and their fans. But so what they eventually say is oh well, it's not a big deal if we do brand deals. I mean, there are brand deals happening all the time. What they failed to mention is what one that Michelle did was it was like this: if you post a certain tag in your video, Microsoft would it was basically say positive or neutral things about the Xbox One. Don't say anything negative, and you get a small bonus thrown your way. And the videos that would get this be part of this promotion would be hit with a certain tag. Let's see here. I think we might have to play My Exna. That's probably the best play here, because we can take these two out. Anyway, so, yeah, its brand deals are just fine, but the problem is the brand deal they were doing, where they don't disclose it, according to the new FTC guidelines. I don't always say it's immoral, first off, and then they were defending it, but it's also illegal. And I just want you to be aware that whenever you sign up for anything where you're taking money, or when you're getting keys or whatever, even if it's just something as small as getting keys, always disclose it. Disclose, because I think it was Gabe Newell said something like, never lie to the internet. They will find out, they will hold it against you, they will pursue you to the ends of the earth. Just don't. Thankfully, I don't have to worry too much about that stuff, but I'm pretty small, and it's really best to always follow transparency, because you don't want to be caught up in this drama ever, especially when you're in a small growing channel. You don't want it to be ruin your chances forever. You also don't want to be part of the drama culture. It's toxic on YouTube. We'll do one more. This is pretty crappy. Quest for the Couch, I still want to do more videos. There's two I have planned. One of them is going to be a pain to do. So I bought my copy of Twilight Princess, and I know I said I wouldn't cover Nintendo games anymore. I kind of still am not, because this video is more favoring towards the game. So what it is it's going to be a comparison of the Wii U Twilight Princess version versus the GameCube on an emulator with custom textures. and I'm really excited to see that. I want to see which one's better. And actually, now there's two texture packs I've been looking at. One of them is a slight bump, which is what I actually wanted to look for. It's minimal graphical, like, it's minimal performance issues. And then there's one that's huge, and it actually changes a lot of the aesthetic of the game. So one of them is, I'll link their blog slots when I get done with the video. One of them is a guy named Lord Slug, and his textures are actually really nice, but a lot of them kind of change the aesthetic just a bit. Although, what I will say is that the Wii U version, now when it's bright outside, in the Wii U version, it actually looks really nice, but when it's really dark and supposed to be gritty, just how Twilight Princess is supposed to be, the game just loses that tone. It's just there's too much bloom at night with lights everywhere. It makes it look like a really nice and beautiful game in a way, but it also doesn't, like, Twilight Princess, again, was supposed to be this dark and gritty Zelda, and unfortunately, it's not showing that too much here. It's not representing that well with all the bloom. So, that's interesting to compare aesthetics. They're very subjective. Lord Slug's just adds a couple things, like Link's eyes don't look very good, and the shield and sword's a little bit... It's something you're gonna have to see, and hopefully I'll get that video. It's gonna be a while, though. And then the other video I want to do is the Quest for the Couch video, in which we talk about the... God, I'm always forgetting. So the software that I've been using. So one of the problems with building a second PC is the software that you're gonna have to use to sync all your settings. And I basically got... I'll just tell you the software right now. One I just downloaded recently. Launchbox for emulators and... just for having it's like for a big picture mode setup. Plex for streaming content between PCs and all your other devices. Game Save Manager and Razer Cortex for your save files. And I believe that's pretty much it. There might be one more I'm just forgetting right now. Let's see, Game Save Manager, Launchbox, Plex. Yeah, I think that's it. Might be another one, but yeah, I'll talk about those more. But yeah, those more. But they're pretty great pieces of software. I'm trying to convert that PC downstairs into like a home computer, like a home theater system. The main problem right now, though, is it's already kind of outdated. So I built my PC several months before. Months before? I believe it was Polaris, the new GPU line, and right now it's the R9 480, I want to say. That card is way better than the card I put in there, and I paid $200 for that card, and now this card's $200, and it's actually better for VR, so if you want to do a Vive setup, that card's actually really good for it, because it's way better than as a VR card, too, so it does kind of suck that I bought that card, and now it's... That 480 would have been perfect for the build, but it's fine. Maybe I'll sell that card and then use the money to, you know... Sell your cards while you can now, guys, because they're about to drop really hard. Especially the 970s. Like, those things are going to be worthless. Let's go with Life Tap. I don't think we have a lot of card draw here. Although we do have the... well... it's... like, this card's really only good for when you're actually using spells. Because otherwise it's a pretty terrible card. Because it's just a one cost less loot hoarder. Yeah, I have a lot of content planned, but I try not to stress out about it too much, and I think that's what matters the most. Because before I was doing that, and that's what caused a lot of the depression, because I wasn't following up on a lot of videos. I would say I was, like, depressed deeply 2 times in my life, during college and way after college, when the YouTube thing wasn't working. It still isn't. I'm going to shift focus soon, but I do like doing it still. Like, you gotta do it because you like to do it. You can't do it for the money. That's what I did, and that screwed me up big time. Jesus Christ, again with this thing. Also, I want to talk about, really briefly, because we're playing a Blizzard game, so I want to do more Hearthstone, I want to do more Heroes of the Storm, I want to do some Overwatch, and again, this is all, I want to pepper this out because I have so many ideas for this channel. I have so many plans. I'm actually working on another video for my Buried Gem series, because that's like one of my more popular series. For Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter in preparation for Wildlands, because Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 specifically, I'm going to be just shitting on Future Soldier, the follow-up to that game. But, little sneak peek there. I have about, like almost like a 5, or no, not even a 5-paragraph, like, it's like almost like a 10-paragraph essay on why Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 is amazing and Future Soldier is shit. But I want to get those done, and hopefully I'll be able to get that done. The script's coming along really nicely. I think I've gotten a lot better with writing, and I think I'm going to do a lot more videos where I just comment over. That's how I've been getting a lot of my videos done, where I just comment over a set of videos, or like a set of games, rather than doing this live commentary thing, because a lot can go wrong in live commentary. You would be surprised how many times I stutter, and how many times I have to redo videos. But going back to what I said about Blizzard, yeah, I want to do more videos on that too, but I kind of want to stream more, and what I want to stream specifically is vanilla WoW content. I know that sounds crazy, but God, this is so annoying. I really am interested in what WoW is going to be doing later this year, and I hope to God there's going to be vanilla servers. I think that's the meeting's supposed to be whatever day Blizzard's meeting with the Nostralius, whatever the hell those names are. I never went on a private server, never tried because I was worried about getting banned, but I really want to play some private server, or sorry, some vanilla WoW, because I always want to try Alterac Valley, the old vanilla one, and I would love to see the progression. And guys, we're gonna make WoW so great. We're gonna make it great again, like you wouldn't even believe it, folks. And hey, don't we love our MMOs? Don't we? Also, if you're in America, please vote this year, because it's going to be one of the most important years ever, and I know some people are saying it's also one of the worst elections ever, because we have 2 people who most people don't even want as presidents, but isn't that almost every other year? Every other election, excuse me, so that's going to be interesting. I wonder what's going to happen. I'm actually going to be moving to Canada soon, not because of Trump, guys. I'm not moving. Even if he gets elected, I'm not moving because of him specifically. It's just that I'm probably going to get a better education in Canada because it's actually a lot cheaper. So there's going to be a time next year where everything's going to change. The channel's going to change rapidly. This is just telling you way ahead in advance. I don't know what specifically we're going to do. It might not happen at all, but, you know, who knows. Things are going to change way later on, but I want to get more content, get the ball rolling for this channel, because getting review codes and getting an opportunity to work with developers and get information has really helped this channel, and it's really helped me personally, like on a personal level, just to increase my skill. But yeah, anyway, that's it for me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you next time. I'm out.